teacups, what's brewing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. We've made it to the vacation, you guys. Oh my god. I was so tired. I've still got a lot of stuff going on, but work stuff at the moment, we do at least have a break. I am still sorting out visa stuff. I had a conversation with my dad the other day and they've got some stuff going on this summer and it looks like maybe I won't be able to stay there. I'm going next week to sort out all my paperwork and things and collect some other stuff. But it looks like this summer I was planning to come and stay with them and maybe that won't be happening now. But it means I'm just trying to figure out the logistics of, okay, what do I do then? I could go home and just pay to stay somewhere else because I don't have another family member at home and I don't have a place of my own in the UK because I travel so much. So I was looking into that, but it'll end up being like, for the areas I need to be in, it's going to be like 3 to 4 grand to stay in the area for 6 or 7 weeks, which is what I'd need to do if I ended up getting a hotel or an Airbnb or something like that. It's a lot of money and I can do it, but I loathe to do it when I feel like that money just then disappears. And yes, not being homeless for 6 or 7 weeks is an important thing, but I feel like that money could go to such better use. So I've got another option. I'm not homeless just yet. I'm probably going to end up staying here is what's going to happen because the thing with my school is that they pay you through the summer. And so my contract doesn't technically finish to the end of August. Now, this is something, it can go either way with lots of schools. They have their own way of doing this. My school in China used to pay you half pay in the summer, but you wouldn't get it until you came back in September because a common problem with places with international teaching is that teachers will do a runner during the holidays and not come back. So they used to have the contracts run either until July if you were leaving, so they didn't have to pay you in the summer, or they would have, you would re-sign, you would get paid half during the summer, but you wouldn't receive it until you turned up in September, so no one could take the money and run. In my case, my school pays full salary, and if I were continuing on to next year, they would just pay me every month as they did when I was stuck in the UK. Yeah. So that wouldn't be an issue, but what they're actually doing because I'm leaving is my last day of work, which is when? July 26th. I'm a monthly salaried employee, so I usually get paid the final Friday of the month. If the final Friday is the very last day of the month, they will sometimes knock it back a couple of days. If the final, not Friday, Thursday, sorry. Friday, everything's closed. If the final Thursday of the month is in the very last day, they will sometimes knock it back to like the Wednesday or the Tuesday. If the final Thursday of the month is super early, like the 25th, they might bring it forward to like the Monday or the Tuesday, but you get paid in kind of that final week. I'm finishing June 26th, and on the 26th, they will pay me out my June salary, my July salary, my August salary, and I will get my end of service bonus, which is half a month salary for every month that I have, every year that I have worked there. Sorry, getting myself confused as I try and think of this. So I get a nice lump sum when I leave, but I don't want to throw a huge chunk of it away on something like a hotel room. But anyway, the point of this story, which I'm sort of losing as I go because I'm rambling, is that I technically have this apartment until my contract ends. So I'm probably going to end up staying here until end of July, first week of August, because that still gives them time to change over the apartment and to put new people in if they need to. I could really push it and be like, I'm not leaving till the end, but I don't want to do that to the school and they need to get new teachers in and things like that. So my new school have told me to expect to fly around the 17th and I can just go to the UK, still see everybody and probably just pay a week or 10 days in a hotel or short-term accommodation somewhere, and it should be okay. So that's the email I've sent to my school here, but the knock-on effect it has is that usually you would apply for the work visa in like mid-July. And I'm gonna be here. Now, there are embassies here for the new country I'm going to, so I should be able to get my work visa while still in Saudi, but I messaged my new school and I was like, hey dudes, this is the situation. And they were like, okay, we'll check on that on Sunday. In theory, if the embassy does it, I don't need to worry about it because I can just go and get it. All of the legwork for the work visa is being done right now. That's why I'm going back to the UK in a few days to sort of get all that sorted. But I just need to check with all the different parties and be like, hey guys, I'm staying here. We good? Okay. And other than that, I just have to treat it like I'm still going. So my school sent an email on the last day before the vacation saying, hey, final extras, this is what you need to do. So I'm going tomorrow to my bank to get a letter. I'm not closing my account yet because I'll need it and they'll pay all the final salary into it. But you do need to get a letter for your final exit to say that you have no debt. You're not allowed to leave if you still owe debt in the country. So I don't have a credit card. I've never taken out a loan here, but I just need a letter from the bank confirming that, and they want that by the end of May. But we're on vacation now, so why not just do it, you know? So I'm gonna do that probably tomorrow. I'm gonna go to the branch and see if they can print me up a letter just being like, yes, we confirm she owes no debt. I can I can hand that to the HR at my school. So that's something to knock off the list. And everything else is just like, hey, you need to pick up this sign-off sheet and make sure all these things are done in your classroom before you go and that kind of thing, which is an ongoing process. One other thing about staying though, you remember the police check that was really important? So the reason the police check was so stressful was because it was 4 appointments and I had to do it around school. But if I stay longer, I have to redo the police check because it will be out of date by the time I leave. But the first section of getting the embassy letter and attesting it, I will have already done because that doesn't go out of date. And so I'll just have to go to the police station, reapply, and then take the new one to get attested. But without me working around the timer of you've got a lesson in this many minutes, it shouldn't be too stressful. I just have to wait the week in between, but it's not the end of the world. So I'll have to reapply for that if I leave later, but it's all doable at this point, providing the various people come back to me. And if they don't, I'll have to figure something out. But at the moment, it looks like I'm going to be able to sort it. But that's what's been happening over the last 2 days. When people ask, like, what's it like? I got a lot of comments on the last one saying you were interested, which is why I'm telling you. But yeah, this is what it's like. It's just everything being possible, but everything connecting to other things that you then have to adjust that are kind of outside of your control. So sending a lot of emails, explaining a lot of situations and trying to sort shit out really is what I'm doing right now. But fingers crossed, we're on top of it thus far. But speaking of being on top of things, or more to the point, absolutely not being, Chantal's been about. So I woke up earlier than I usually do on vacation, because on vacation I have one alarm set just to make sure that I don't sleep through the whole day. But other than that, the deal is I get to wake up naturally because I'm not at work, god damn it. And so I woke up quite early. I woke up at like 8:30. And I kind of turned over, I played on my phone for a little bit, and I watched her video on what does this mean? I'm like, you seriously need to ask. Seriously. What does this mean? So I started watching that on my mobile, and I got up, I made my coffee, I went to sit down to switch it over to the desktop, and when I went to the desktop, it was deleted. And yesterday, I don't know what it is in your time zone, but the one before it, with the fast food funeral, which, oh, the nostalgia. The first thing I ever reacted to was a fast food funeral she did a while back. But that was also gone. So I am guessing that this is to do with whatever's going on behind the scenes legally. I can't decide. Okay, she's mentioned before that she could get in trouble for talking about him online, and that very intensely looking camera, they could get in trouble. They could both get in trouble. And you know, when I said she was talking directly to Nada, I can't decide if there's actually legal ramifications for the way she talks online about what's going on, because I know he's got a gag order and a no contact order. But as far as we're aware, she doesn't. But it could still impact the case. So I don't know if that's, she's been quite stressed out recently about things. I wish I could tell you. And last time she got like that, it was because Nada was beating her up behind the scenes. Allegedly. And this time I think it's something to do with that. Now, if it's actual legal things or if it's just stuff that Nada has convinced her will be legal things, I don't know. I don't know how much weight there is to what she's saying, because she's also a lying liar who lies. But something is clearly going on behind the scenes. Usually when she disappears like that, it does mean she's visiting Nada, but something to do with the way she's talking online behind the scenes. I don't know if it's her usual garbage of Nada says I gotta fix it, or if it's actually legal. I don't know. But here we are. So both of those are now gone, and the thing they had in common is that they both talked about Nada while saying, no, I can't talk about Nada. We don't talk about Bruno, no. I feel like we need to fit Nada's name into that. I feel like I need it as like a theme song every time she says it on her lives. I can start playing it in the background. Copyright immediately, but never mind. Okay, so anyway, I have got Just Saying's cut down of this because she got it up before it was deleted. I saw the majority of the original live. I missed the end. I've cut Just Saying's down to, I think it's about 6 minutes, because she starts to circle, how she does with this stuff. And I don't have the patience for it, so we're going to leave it like this. So 2 things you need to know before this starts. One, she posted a text message that she got from Dee Dee. And she's also watched a video recently from a channel I had never heard of called It's Waterweight, I think it is. I'm gonna link the video down below, so in the description box, so that if you want to see the video that's gotten her so wound up, you can just see the original. It's something to do with the phone call that Nada got online from, was it Dee Dee? I think it was Dee Dee. I haven't watched the video. I clicked in briefly to the timestamp of where the phone call is, but I didn't even make it through it. I really can't stand the guy. I can't stand watching him on the screen. So, I mean, we get more or less what this was about. But the text message, I'll put it up somewhere. Chantal, you know the man laying beside you? Yes, I know him too. Too well. Too well. This is where you're supposed to read between the lines. Get it? Got it. Honey, you could get that from space. That's not a subtle thing. But apparently Chantal is struggling, so here we are.
Can you read the thumbnail? I thought maybe just maybe, since I'm not getting any answers from the person who sent me that text message, maybe I could ask your opinion on what that means. Because I was asked to read between the lines. So I'd like to really know what that means. What it means. This was from a while. Actually, got me thinking, this text message was from a little while ago, and I just kind of like, she had said that she was just angry at the time.
Here's the thing with this. Okay, so she claims this text message was from a while ago. I can go with that because the way it's phrased in terms of, she says it's from Dee Dee, yeah, but the way it's phrased does sound like it's earlier in the relationship where it's news that Dee Dee is there, but my big question is, why is she mad about it now? And I think the answer is what the answer always is that she's been seeing Nada behind the scenes. Remember, she disappeared not long ago? She's been seeing Nada behind the scenes. They've had another blow up. And all the gaslighting you like to do. Like, no, it's not true, that she ridiculously believes. But I think they've had some kind of argument again behind the scenes. And now she's trying to prove her point as like the cheated victim. And this is what's utterly cray to me, is that she forgets so often that she's moved beyond the point where he's her boyfriend and he's cheating on her. If you can ever claim they were at that point, because remember, they were never boyfriend-girlfriend except for maybe like 3 days in Toronto. So she's still got this thing of being, oh, this is the other woman and I'm being cheated on and all of that, when they are past that. They're at the point where, hey, I made some allegations against you and they're active. So this nonsense of, I believe he cheated on me. Of course he fucking cheated on you. Are you kidding? You literally had a threesome. Are you kidding? But that's really not the point here. You know, this conversation is not where your relationship is. But here we are. However, she is annoyed. Something has triggered this, and it's most likely to be the two of them behind the scenes, because I don't believe for a second they're not in contact.
But it got me thinking, like, I know you're gonna think I'm dumb, but I'm seriously just blinded. So, yeah, it was her. Anyways, just seeing that it's water weight video with the phone call made me more insane and more sick to my stomach. I'm obsessed. Yeah, maybe a little bit.
A little bit.
So the text message was like, Chantal, you see the man lying beside you? Or, Chantal, you know the man lying beside you? I know him too well. Too well, ... This is where you're supposed to read in between the lines. ... Get it? Got it? So what exactly would I, if she sent you that text message, what exactly, and I'm not bashing her or anything, this is...
Very much. I'm not bashing her, it's just teasing. No. But this is what I'm saying though. Like, oh, what would you think? Like, she's still trying to prove, oh look, he's a manipulative liar. Well, yeah, that's his brand. We're beyond this, dear.
Exactly discussing what that means. I think it means that they were sleeping together and they lied about it the whole time.
Yeah.
She's like, right? Or what would you think? It was from Dee. So whenever I brought that to his attention, no, it didn't mean anything. No, there was nothing. You're full of shit. You're crazy.
This isn't new information though. So what? Either the text message is new and you're mad about it, or the text message is old and it's beyond the point where you need to be mad about it. You got bigger fishes to fry.
Oh, so I'm not the only person who thinks that, right? TE, remember for 2 months, when did she send you that text? It was a little while ago, like when I was still able to see him. No, everybody knew but me.
Everybody knew and everybody told you. Ignorance is not an excuse.
Just little things like that I would just brush under because he would deny them and I had no proof, and...
She literally had gonorrhea. When you say no proof.
Like finding a pregnancy test in his bathroom one day.
This?
Like finding a pregnancy test in his bathroom one day.
Thank you for the slowdown. Oh, I forgot to say at the beginning of this. Clearly she's sped up. I apologize for that. Because I know some of you don't like it, but just saying puts it up, sped up, because it helps her with the copyright stuff. But I am used to hearing her sped up and slow down. It just takes too long. I meant to preface with that, sorry.
Where did that come from? Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Probably the rat guy. Really?
The rat guy who has nothing to do with his nights but watch rat documentaries. Hence the name. What? You know, all this video does is make her look worse than she already did. She had gonorrhea. Like, how do you... But is he cheating though? I know it's not funny, but you get to the point where you have to laugh. There's a pregnancy test in your bin. No one's potentially pregnant, right? There's no reason for anyone to be checking. No? Okay, good. What? How the fuck did you get to this point in your life? Going through those events? There are times when I get frustrated, but there are the times where you just have to laugh. What? She hasn't told us this before, right? This feels like new information.
Okay. Who's taking pregnancy tests at your house? I feel so sick. I just feel so sick.
What, from the shock?
And then she wants it, waiting for an apology. How? Because how in the hell is somebody going to make an elaborate lie like that? Well, how?
Look yourself in a mirror and ask the question. You lie every other word. What do you mean? How can people lie like that? An elaborate lie? You showed him a pregnancy test wrapper and he was like, not it. That's not an elaborate lie. You're just that gullible.
That's like fucking evil. I was just curious because I'm not getting obviously any answers, right? So I was like,
Did you think about it really hard?
What does read between the lines mean? What does it mean?
Means she knew him biblically. Jesus fucking Christ.
I jelly tots because he tells me he's not a liar, so I believe him.
Well, that would be the problem now, wouldn't it?
He's so convincing. Or
he doesn't seem convincing. Is he convincing, or are you just grasping at any straw to allow yourself to be convinced? Because I think those two things are different.
Or, I don't know, they're both like, I don't know, fuck them both. Anyway, I'm done.
Now you're done. I've kept some of this in because it does start circling around, you know, it always does. But notice that none of her language is particularly passive. It's not like, oh, it was over. Oh no, you know, I'm so glad it's finished. It's like, this is an active thing that I'm cutting off. All of her language is active.
You have this, like, you create this idealized, romanticized version of somebody, and you actually, like, I fucking, like, fell in love with that person.
You collective, no. We do not do that. You did that. I would never. I'm sorry, but anybody with half a brain and a basic instinct for survival would not listen to any of the crap he has spewed and still be there. Nobody, not a one. This is a you issue.
Based on shit they were saying to me, you know? Piper, just for my rant in Cuba, that's what she wants an apology for. When they literally, like, I know I have to be accountable for my actions, but, like...
Do you know that? How's that apology video going? Are you sure you know that? You don't seem to know that. Because this isn't reflection. This isn't accountability at all. It's her saying, yeah, I know I was bad, but there's so much worse. Like, I don't think she should apologize, but then I don't think they should be talking to each other. Like, what a ridiculous set of circumstances that's got all three of them online talking about this shit that should be private, you know? But let's call a spade here. You had a threesome with a woman you claimed and still claim to absolutely loathe, and then you insulted how her vagina smelled. Like, what do you want here? She's mad, of course she's mad. Why were any of you bringing this up? You're all dumb.
I swear, their lies and everything just, like, really sunk me even lower.
So?
I'm not talking about Nader, I'm asking what your guys' opinion is.
Yeah, you're very much talking about Nader. Come on now. Come on. And this is why I think the previous live got deleted as well. That's why I'm saying I don't know legally where they are and what impact she's having here. I don't know if she's being manipulated into thinking there's going to be legal consequences, or if there is a way that there can be, or if someone at the police station is just begging her, would you stop with this? I don't know.
Hi, Nephew's mom, about that text message. Like, what would you think about that?
No. We would all think the obvious, but apparently that's not where we are.
Oh, this is from before. Mm-hmm.
So no reason for it to be here and no reason for it to be bothering you, except somehow it is. But definitely not an active situation.
You're desperate user, simple as that, probably. I'm not desperate though.
Oh,
like,
but you are.
For anything. Like, I really only, like, I have all the, like, I have so many men I can talk to right now and be, like, I just don't want to, like.
Yeah. You don't want to because you're desperate for him, inexplicably. Remember when she was like, no, I'm in Cuba, I'm having sex with this guy between live streams. And then when she, was it during the drunk thing or was it when she was crying? One of the things since she was like, oh, he was nothing, I didn't even orgasm. She traded, was it the $1,000 laptop? I don't remember how much she paid for it, but she traded a brand new laptop for a short bout of sex that she didn't enjoy. Yeah, but by all means, let's talk about other people and their problems. But she's like, I don't want to. She's desperate. She's very desperate. She'll take anything. She'll pay anything. That is desperation. But it's currently focused obsessively on one person.
Like, you know, I haven't even really talked to Renee or anybody. So for you guys, if you got that text, you would think obviously they were sleeping together.
Okay. So this is her British. Nada's watching. Come on now. So this is her proof. Her proof. No, other people think it too, so it's true. So she can go back and have the argument again, because clearly this argument's come up recently, which is what's causing all this. There's nothing else in her history. I say clearly, I have no inside information, but come on. just to cover myself legally. But based on all her past behavior and how she acts in these situations, like, this is the proof she's going to take back to Nada, where no sane person would think this. Yeah, but believe it. Okay, let me pay your rent some more.
Of course I'm sad. I'm going to friggin'...
Of course I'm sad at this guy I reported for SA. Of course I'm sad. What?
It's just messed up because, like, it all started, like, we had that really bad fight. Whiskey night. Then I went to Windsor by myself and that...
Guys, I kept this in for one reason, yeah? Just weird thing that's sticking in my head. She said whiskey night? I find that odd because we had a conversation about tequila and I remember remember that brief moment of time where she was like, we must protect Dee Dee because I am here for women's sake, not for me. And she was acting really poorly in her live stream going, tequila, no, he cannot drink. And I thought that was a conversation around tequila. And it just seems, maybe she misspoke, but it just seems like a really weird switch to happen. You know, that's not what he was drinking before. I'm sure it was tequila before. So, I don't know, maybe meaningless, but it was something that stuck out in my head.
That, like, really fucking pissed him off and hurt him. Trips the light. Read between the lines means she will not put in writing that she has been sleeping with him. She's trying to be subtle and wants you to figure it out.
She's not trying to be subtle. Yeah? She's like, for the love of God, would you put 2 and 2 together?
Yeah, Dee, well, thanks. Oh, I feel a lot of anger towards him. Don't worry about that.
Don't worry about that. I'll still go crawling back, but don't worry about it. Worry wasn't exactly where I was.
Because I still have feelings for him. That's probably why. I don't care about Dee Dee. I have no feelings for her. Him, I do, right? So it's harder to be madder at him than her. And obviously,
this is another thing that I left in for a reason of that struck me as odd. Usually, I suppose I can't speak for people, but I would think having feelings for somebody would make me more angry at them than someone I claimed. I don't believe she has no feelings towards Dee Dee. I just don't believe any of those feelings are love or what she thinks is love, which is another whole conversation. If you have someone you profess to love and they're betraying you, personally, that would cause more anger in me than anything the other person involved could do. If you don't care about somebody, there's no reason for you to care except in connection with the guy who's betraying you. So for me, I'd focus my anger a lot more there. But we are different people in different emotional places. So maybe that's it.
there's just jealousy and everything else. No, he does. He has hidden it from me. He's insisted and he swore up and down. He does not sleep with Dee Dee. Like, you guys don't understand. He swore. She swore.
I mean, I think she's claiming this is from before. So, we've heard before, oh no, we're not sleeping together. But even then, she went back to the apartment and Dee Dee's stuff was in the bathroom and there's only one bed. Knowing what you know. We had this discussion when it was happening, like, of fucking course they're sleeping together. Are you kidding me? How is this still a conversation?
On her mother.
Are they living
she
together?
Swore on her mother. They did not sleep together.
Oh. She swore on their mother. Clearly, she's a terrible person. Am I remembering correctly when her grandmother was actively in the process of passing? Wasn't Chantal lying about being with Nada? I seem to remember that. I could be remembering incorrectly. But again, anything she slings at Dee Dee, she's done herself and more. So what is this conversation we're having? At this point, what does it matter if he was lying? He was lying, but what does it matter?
That's why I'm asking that. It's still part of me believed him. Yeah, I don't want you to feel bad for me, Meg. I don't care. I don't need your sympathy.
She does very much need sympathy because any other emotion she's invoking is not helpful to her or her channel. But just if there's anyone out there still gullible enough to feel sorry for her, she just likes to cut them off at the pass. by speaking like this to her audience. So if anyone out there was thinking of just being like, oh, sweetheart, not that I think you should, this is how she treats people.
I want to know what that text message means. That's what I thought, but they were so
obvious.
adamant it meant nothing. She's like, I was just mad, and I'm done with this conversation.
And again, I was just mad and I'm done with this conversation. So she's been communicating with Nada via Didi for a long time, and she's admitted to that. So Didi was used to being the go-between and has been for some time. So to be now saying, oh, I was just mad and now I'm ending this conversation, this feels recent. The text message feels older, but the conversation that's making her angry feels recent. So Didi wants the apology, she's not talking to her. That's cutting off communication with Nada, which I guess is why she's disappearing, because she's going to go see him because she can't communicate through Didi anymore. And she has admitted to trying to see him in several ways and actually doing it. So this is a recent fight they've had.
I expected more from Didi, I don't know why. I'm very naive, I guess.
I don't think naive. I don't think you can blame naivety at this point.
Blocked. I don't know if I have her blocked. They can't even...
Oh. Hang on. I'm going to go back because you need to hear this together.
Do I have her blocked? I don't know if I have her blocked. They can't even keep their lies straight. That's the problem.
This. The juxtaposition of those two things. I don't know if I have her blocked at the moment. No way. No way does she have Didi blocked at the moment, and she can't say that. But they can't even keep their lies straight. I'm betting she can't remember if she told anyone if she had blocked Didi or not. But with Didi being the only technically legal, I suppose, version of events where she can be in secondary contact with Nada, she ain't blocking Didi, are you kidding me? Of course she's not. And she's like, I don't remember if I have her blocked. So she doesn't have her blocked. So let's just leave that where it is, yeah? She doesn't have them blocked. But yeah, let's talk some more about how they can't keep their lies straight.
They think I'm stupid.
Well, a lot of the stuff you're doing would support that. If you're gonna say you're not, I'm gonna need evidence.
I remember him saying that, he's like, don't be stupid, whenever I asked him about it. And I'm like, no, the problem is that I'm not stupid.
The problem is I need to see some evidence for that, because so far, you're not helping yourself.
And they won't give me straight answers, so I'll come to the internet for them. Fuck you.
And isn't that ultimately the problem? I can't get answers from this couple of people who are infamous for talking me around subjects and straight up lying to me, so I'm going to bring everything online, and that's what she'll do forever, because what else has she got? Healthy coping mechanisms, regular trips to a therapist, actual real life friends? No, my friend, this is it.
Lord of Farid John, it's easier to scam people than to get people to believe they've been scammed. What? I would never touch it.
I shouldn't. Sorry. So just the blankness of it. What?
To imagine, like, they don't know the emotional fucking turmoil they put me through.
Of course they do.
That whole...
You weren't subtle about it. Of course they do.
Like, month and something, that, like, 2 months that they were there. Like, imagine having to envision, like, the person you're in love with just, like, fucking railing someone else the way they do you.
Could you not?
You know? Like, imagine that.
Could you? I don't want to. Give me some bleach for my brain.
Eating the food that you bought.
The food that you went over while she was there and gave to him. Who's really at fault here? You had a number of points where you could have cut this off and you didn't.
And you want an apology.
She wants an apology for you having a threesome and then going online and saying her vagina smelled like fish. Come on now.
I'm just reflecting on this now. And
No, this is not reflection. These are the same bullshit circles you've been turning for the last year. This is you wanting to be proven right and thinking the internet can do it for you. Again.
When I was in it, I did not even care.
You're still
in it. I realized
it.
that it really, because of the self-worth thing, like, how can I go back to somebody or, like, even try? Like, legally, no, I can't be with him right now. But, like, even after being lied to like that, like, no.
And again, in terms of appropriate conversations versus active language versus kind of the state, I know we use the word delusion a lot, but the state of delusion she's in, she still believes that after all this legal stuff has been put to bed with no consequences, that they will be together. And they will just kind of brush this aside, and Dee Dee will somehow be gone, and things will go back to the way that she's picturing it in her head. And even now, she's sitting there going, no, we can't possibly, like it's an option, like it's an actual viable option, and she's holding on to it because you know damn well if he came calling, she'd run.
No, it's hard to realize that they never cared about me. It's not nice to think that. I know I keep going back for more.
Yep.
It's hard to leave somebody.
And you'll keep going back for more.
I was really, I don't know. I guess I was finding myself having those feelings for him again.
And now you're making a mess.
Really depressed because we can't be together. So it's like really been stressing me out.
Again, Romeo and Juliet, this isn't.
Stressing me out too just because of the circumstances and the state of our relationship and everything. There's so many reasons.
Yep. The state of your relationship is you reported him for assault. You reported him for assault, and it's with the police right now. That is the state of your relationship. Call a spade a spade.
Dee Dee's fakeness, and then the text message was just bugging me.
I believe that. I believe that she gets thoughts in her head and she's got nothing she can do about it because she refuses to learn.
So I'll read between the lines. Have a nice life together. Seriously. See?
She's done. Now, at this point, because it's her choice to say, have a nice life together. But what, she expected them to call and be like, no, sweetheart, I love you.
Things are ended, and I'm just starting to, like, things are, like, melt. It feels like a spell's melting off, and I'm just starting to see things, and that fucking video from It's Waterway just messed everything the fuck up.
Messed everything up. Everything that was actively happening. If nothing's going on and this is all old text messages, what was there to mess up? You already had him reported in a no contact order. What did that mess up? What could it have messed up? You're claiming you're not together. There was nothing there. But, oh, was that a lie? Oh, what a shock.
Some fixation in your mind like a teenager was puppy love. I know, I haven't felt that way in a long time about anybody. You know, maybe it's because, like, my past couple of relationships, like the past 15 years, were so boring. They were so wholesome and boring.
Wholesome and boring. I'm sure Pete's enjoyed hearing that. But BB was probably the healthiest relationship she's ever had romantically. And yeah, they didn't seem to be setting the world on fire, but he seemed like a decent enough guy. And Pete's, they've got a weird codependence thing on, but I can't imagine Pete's was any trouble. But hear how she speaks about those relationships. You know, when they were friends and then they were together, you could argue that their relationship was healthier than it is now with him living with her as an ex-boyfriend and this weird codependency they have. But you could argue at the time of the relationship, it was just a relationship. With flawed people, yes, but they were together and that's how people do, you know? But she's always believed that the drama of the relationship, do you remember right when she first got with Nada and she was like, I'm such a bad girl, you know, I've been so bad. It's because she's always believed, and we see this from every story she's ever told about any of her earlier relationships, even from being a teen up, she believes these horrible scenarios that she's described to us are just proof of love. Because you can't love anyone unless it's so consuming that you're hurting them in some way. And it's such a terrible place to be in terms of how she views love and what it does to people, that this is what I wish she would get therapy for. It'd be like, just readjust what she sees in certain actions. Because she believes to this day that it just proves that they love you. Look what you made me do. You know, and I just, God, it makes me cringe in a really, like, not in a general internet funnies way, but intrinsically in a, oh no, go talk to someone.
Just gonna say that. Usually I don't use a lot of my mental when it comes to relationships. I always
You don't say.
Okay.
Didn't mean to start that, sorry. I pressed the space bar just as it was restarting. Yeah, I don't use my mental, I use my heart. She is 100% purely driven by emotions, but man, her emotions are out of whack. So God help any person she gets into a relationship with, but let's get her out of this one first, because my God. So there we are. That's the update with Chantal. Thank you for listening. I'm going to edit this down and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.